Welcome to this episode of CLIC Connect. I'm your host, Craig Sullivan. Today's episode is being brought to you by our good friends at Chicago Title National Commercial Services Group, right here in Southern California, but they work nationally. So if you haven't called them, make sure you do and tell them you heard about them on CLIC Connect, please. I am so very happy to have Laurie Gardner, top sales and development leader with Intercontinental Hotel Group, joining us today on the show. Laurie, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And for those of you that follow me on social media, you will know that Laurie is responsible for my EDC, my everyday carry, that long commute from my kitchen to my office with my coffee. So she's helping me with my addictions.
I appreciate the brand plug on an ongoing basis.
There we go. Laurie, would you do me a favor and please tell the audience what territory you're covering?
I have Central and Southern California. So if you kind of draw a line right above Fresno over to Big Sur, I'm everything under it. And then I have the Vegas area and all of Arizona.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about what's going on right now. What are you seeing out there in this COVID-19 reality that we're in?
Wow, it's changing daily, but I would say, from a development standpoint, I was surprised it still did some deals last year, and still seeing a decent pipeline coming up this year. I sort of have put developers into maybe three different categories, and some fit in between. But in general, what I see is, kind of one category is the folks that maybe live NOI to NOI. Unfortunately, are the ones that are struggling the most. Ones that worry about assets going back to banks, that kind of stuff, and they're just in survival mode, and understandably, right?
Right.
And sort of bucket number two are people that maybe have a couple hotels. They're struggling, but they're good. Get on the other side of it.
Right.
Sort of can't really look at a development opportunity right now. Can't see the forest of the trees, kind of thing. I'm bleeding profusely. I'm not thinking about something else.
Yeah.
But we'll come out the other side okay. And then last are the folks that kind of see things opportunistically. Maybe they're in a better cash position, or they're more diversified with other types of business, and they are in a position to pick up land or start planning something now, with the understanding that we all know financing right now is extremely hard to come by. But when the reality is, especially in California, you're not getting out of the ground for a couple of years.
Now, Laurie, you have a micro dual branded IHG launch breaking news. What's this all about?
Yeah, so we are coming out with a micro combo. Micro combo will be our Candlewood coupled with an Avid. It will have mostly Avid public space, but a corridor of all Candlewood rooms and another corridor of all Avid rooms. It is really positioned to be in a smaller market, a market where we wouldn't necessarily see one of each, but a mix makes a lot of sense. Markets like Barstow, El Centro,
Gotcha.
maybe Blythe, somewhere like that. Not major metropolitan areas where we hope and plan to get an individual Avid and an individual Candlewood. But it can certainly help bridge the gap especially when you already have an Express that's a high-performing Express, kind of that hybrid model. We're looking somewhere in the 80 to 120 rooms total, and a good split between the two.
Perfect. I love it. Now, I think this year, next year, is it really going to be more about brand conversions and picking up new assets that way into the portfolio for IHG?
I think it'll be
I'm not sure how much real development, like you said, it's going to be a couple of years before things come out of the ground here in California.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's certainly different. Vegas, Arizona, various other areas that you cover.
Mm-hmm.
But, are you looking to pick up a lot of deals through the repositioning of hotel assets?
I think you will see a lot of that. I mean, that's kind of how our cyclical works, right? You saw that in the last downturn where we ebb and flow between conversion and new construction. And certainly the closer you get to the ocean, the more you do conversion is kind of a rule of thumb. So, IHG, we've positioned ourselves for that with a couple of different, not necessarily new, but some ideas of how we can capitalize on that. One has been around for a while, and that is kind of a scaled back full service Holiday Inn. This works really well in the conversion space of independent, but also what a lot of people don't remember is with the scaled back prototype, we also have a scaled back F&B offering. It's called Toast to Toast, like toast you eat in the morning and toast you toast in the evening. And that is more of a fast casual type restaurant, which lower labor comes in very handy when you've got $15 an hour minimum wage breathing down our neck, but also allows for a much easier operation. So a select service hotel out there could be a very good conversion for this. It only needs like 650 square feet. You grab the pantry of a select service and maybe grab a boardroom next door or a guest room.
Right.
If it's under branded, you're gonna make that up, right? And then the space for breakfast is your restaurant bar area. We've done a couple of these with select service hotels, 2 full service. Some of them, grab a meeting room. Some of them had some extra landscape area that they just bumped up the footprint of the hotel. But it's a great way to reposition an asset that a lot of people don't even think about.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. That toast to toast is great. I love that.
Thanks. I wish I could take credit for that, but not good.
Well, you only want credit if you get that royalty check,
Oh, and then second one is we have come out with a way to take a select service room, guest room, typical normal transient guest room is rectangular in nature. So we've come up with a plan to be able to convert that to a Candlewood. And a kitchen in there. So that is also an amazing option too.
I love it.
When you're looking for that reposition, a lot of times, there's not a whole lot left, or you want to maybe go power brand up or whatever it is. It's a really good opportunity there to take it in another direction that, again, most people don't always think about.
Perfect. Laurie, I hate to say this, but we're out of time. So how about a shameless plug? How can everybody get a hold of you? It does.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much. It's always great to chat with you. I look forward to doing it in person very soon. Yes. Yes. Shameless plug. Laurie, Laurie .Gardner, Gardner @ihg.com. My cell's my only number, and it's 602-206-6750. Love to work with you. Thanks so much.
Perfect. And you know what? You're going to have a chance to see Laurie at CLIC Virtual on March 4th. Laurie and IHG and her team will all be there, so you should join us as well. And I want to thank you for being part of the show today. And when you're on our YouTube channel, please subscribe and ring the bell and leave comments down below. We'll get back to you. Give us some topics you want us to cover, people you want us to have on the show. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, be kind, share your knowledge, make yourself amazing today.